the root problem with the high street is that they've been ravaged by predatory chains very aggressively. They've been sort of driven out of, most extinctions don't happen by accident, there's usually a predator or something that's involved in that process. I think it was a problem with the Porter's review was that it really glossed over the fact that actually the massive growth of supermarkets, to the extent where now 97% of all groceries in the UK are sold through just 8,000 supermarket outlets, hasn't just happened by accident. That's been a huge concerted push. And that has been at the expense of the high street. It's also been at the expense of resilience in those communities, the ability of those communities to withstand shocks. So I think actually where we find ourselves is a place that hasn't really happened by accident. And what we've got is that 97% meets our needs much worse than the 3%. We know that independent economy, for every pound you spend in that 3% economy, it creates 3 times more jobs than every pound you spend in the 97% supermarket economy. We know that 3% economy builds more social capital, brings communities closer together, creates the glue really that gives communities their resilience. So we need to make a decision, I think. Do we want to put our energy in the 3% economy or in the 97% economy? The current government-led push for growth is all about how you grow the 97%, not the 3%. Often what is presented is regeneration. Regeneration is a real sort of motherhood and apple pie, kind of everyone wants regeneration, but often regeneration is about sweeping aside that independent 3% economy and replacing it with a sort of supermarket and all the usual brands, and you get your kind of ghost town Britain.
What do you say to those who would say that they can get cheaper goods in a supermarket than they would in their local shop?
I would say that it's, as regards some goods, they would be right. There are some things that you can get cheaper in supermarkets, but the idea that you can get everything cheaper in supermarkets is really not the case, particularly when you're talking about vegetables, seasonal produce, local dairy, that kind of stuff. Supermarket models work by paying an average salary of around £12,000 and increasingly now getting rid of checkouts. So you go around the supermarket and then you check yourself out. So what kind of, if we allow that to take over our high street, what kind of local economy do we end up left with? So at the moment we're in a situation where money is tight and people need to shop in order to feed their family in the most efficient way possible. But at the same time, we're also shopping to create the kind of economy that we want to see. Otherwise, we're going to end up with more and more and more paid jobs, and it becomes then more people need to get to buy cheap food because there's less money about it. It becomes a kind of a downward spiral.
Mm-hmm. So you think that coffee shops like Costa, like Starbucks, the big chains, do you think they're also being responsible for the decline of the high streets?
I think they've been responsible for our high streets losing a diversity that's really important. For them losing that kind of quirkiness that sort of defined the English high street, or if you go to other places in the world, we have lots of independent traders of different things. High streets just are exactly the same wherever you are. I think we lose the incentive to be entrepreneurial ourselves. We lose that kind of niche. We lose the sense of what it is that's special about this place where we live. And we lose a lot of money as well. 80% of what we spend in chains and supermarkets is gone out of our community by the time they cash up at the end of the day. And it's not to say we need to get rid of supermarkets, but actually if we could just shift 10% of what we collectively spend on food, that's not just us as shoppers, that's also local organisations and hospitals and schools and how they procure. If we could shift 10%, which is perfectly doable, that's a lot of money that can come into our local economy, which isn't going to come from anywhere else.